John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hello, this is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert. I have almost 30 years of experience in the credit industry. Spent time at FICO, which is the company behind the FICO credit scoring system, and Equifax, which is one of the 3 generally recognized credit reporting agencies in the United States. So today's video has to do with protecting yourself from fraud if you are a primary credit card holder and you've chosen to add one or more authorized users to your credit card account. So obviously, when you add an authorized user, normally what occurs is there is a card that is created with the authorized user's name embossed on it, and that card can be used by the authorized user and they can charge goods and services on the credit line just as if they were the primary card holder. The difference is the authorized user is not liable for any of the purchases. And so obviously one of the concerns that the primary card holder has is hey, if I'm adding someone as an authorized user on my credit card account, how can I protect myself against any fraudulent use of the card? Entirely legitimate concern for people to have. So there are a couple ways that you can do this. Number one is you don't have to give the authorized user a card. You can add somebody and then never ever give them the card. The card is going to be sent to you. It's not going to be sent to the authorized user. The authorized user really has no permissions with respect to the account. So the address that's on the account is going to be the primary card holder's address, which is where the authorized user's credit card is going to be sent. You don't ever have to give it to them. You don't ever have to have them activate it. The long and short of it is that you really control that level of access. To the extent that you do want to give the authorized user the credit card, then obviously you do have to be more diligent with respect to protecting yourself from fraudulent use, because they will have a card which they can either use physically or that they can set up for auto billing against the card. So there's a couple ways you can do this. Number one is you can certainly add alerts to the card. When most large credit card issuers have give their card members the ability to set alerts for when the card is used. And so obviously if you see usage of the card and you are not approving of those charges, then you can take immediate action and shut the card down or kick the authorized user off of the account. So that's number one, is kind of the alert system. Number two is if you believe that the authorized user is or intends to use the card in such a way that you have not approved, then you're going to have to take more drastic action. What that means is you may have to actually remove someone from the authorized user status, which will essentially remove their name from the account and will close the card that they have been given. You can also, some credit card issuers give you the ability to freeze accounts. Normally this is used when you believe that your card has been lost, or if you believe that your card information has been stolen and is being used in a fraudulent manner. You can actually freeze your account. Freezing your account is not the same as closing your account. Closing your account is closing your account. Freezing the account is temporarily closing it or not allowing for it to be used, and perhaps maybe you just misplaced it. The card actually hasn't been stolen, and if you find it, then instead of having the card issuer reissue you a brand new card and changing all of your auto billing to some other account number, you just unfreeze the card and then you're back in action. And so it's a little bit of it's almost like credit card closure light. I actually like this as an option a lot because it can be toggled back and forth. So you don't necessarily have to do it and then leave it frozen for any period of time. You can do it, undo it, do it, undo it at your leisure. You probably hear the rain. So this is the first video I'm recording in the rain. You can also contact your card issuer and see if they would be willing to put limitations on use for authorized users. And so what that means is even though you, the primary cardholder, may have a $10, $15, $20,000 credit limit, you don't necessarily have to give the authorized user the same credit limit on their card. So not all card issuers do this, and it's not something that's guaranteed. But you may want to speak to your card issuer and just ask them, hey, can I put limitations on the card such that the authorized users don't have the same access to the credit line that I have? If you're concerned about people using the card fraudulently, my advice is to consider not giving them the card, and then you really don't have to worry about any of these issues going forward. Because they don't have a card, they don't know what the account number is, they can't call the bank and ask them to send them a card or make any changes to the account because they don't have permissions, because they have no liability. They're really not even a debtor in that respect. So if you have any other questions about authorized users or how to manage those accounts, drop it in the comments section below and I'll do my best to get to it. Thanks a lot for watching during this rainy day in Atlanta, and we'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.